Realtors.
There we go. Awesome. Okay. So we're on week 3. We're on automations. The first week we talked about mindset. The second week we talked about foundations. That's last week when we talked about our CRM, and I told you guys how like I'm having to redo my own CRM, and I know how important that is. So it's kind of like drop everything, get your CRM up and running, because that's how we communicate with people. So I really dug into that last week. And I know, John, you've been doing this too with Chime. Like we're all learning Chime. And it's just so important because that's how we communicate with the leads. But now we're jumping over to automations, and automations, there's so many different automations that we could do in this business. And if we get these foundational pieces set up and then get them automated, that frees us up to go work on the funnels. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is the automations. But you guys, it all starts with the mindset. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are correct. And none of this will matter if you don't master this one first. If you wake up daily and you live in a space of lack and scarcity, and your mind is thinking, I can't do this, there's too many realtors, there's not enough deals, I guarantee you, you're going to be one of the agents who doesn't have any deals. And that's a lot of us right now. So I feel really sorry for the brand new agents getting into this business right now, because it's a hard business. But I feel really lucky for you if you're on this call, because that means you're working on your systems and you're getting your systems set so that when this market changes, because it will, you're going to have these done. So don't give up on real estate. You might need to go get a part-time job, I'm not going to lie, but that's okay. You could still be adding to your VIP database with the part-time job. It's a great way to meet more people. And so really just work on all of these systems so that whenever the market's better, but not when, now you got to do it too, but it frees us up to work on the funnels. So let's dig into these automations a little bit more. Excuse my slides, you guys. This is just like I have them broke down somewhere, but I didn't go get them. So week 3, we talk about automations. So I'm just going to share a few of the automations that are, I just let her in, that are so important to me. And people ask me all the time, like, Dawn, you need to do a class on Google Chrome and those folders, because for me, I have my bookmarks bar set up, because you guys, if I don't have it wrote down or put somewhere, like I am not going to remember it. It is just not going to happen. I rely on my automations so heavily that if someone took my computer, I wouldn't even know what to do, because I automate everything. And then whatever I can, I delegate it to my assistants. And so it's so important. So I'm just going to go over these a little bit. Then I want to talk about my weekend and what happened and how I came out from it and realized what my most important automation is. I want to share that with you guys. But first, I want to talk about Google Chrome, Google Drive. I guess I could put this in present mode so that you're not seeing like my whole screen. There we go. Okay, so a little bit better. You guys could probably see it better. So Google Chrome and Google Drive, just Google everything. I love it. My paid for course has actually like a business in a box Google folder that I share with agents, and it has like a business, it has a budget in it, it has closing spreadsheet, it has a spreadsheet called the board, has all these different things. And my VAs just keep, as we go through the checklist for a buyer and a seller deal, like they just go through it and check them off, fill in the blanks, and I know what's going on at any time in my business. And I absolutely love Google everything. Those folders at the end of this, if someone isn't familiar with Google anything, please raise your hand. And when we're done with this, I will just do a quick little lesson on Google Chrome, Google Drive, and how I use that. But I want to tell you, one of the things I love is that all of those documents, I have access to at any time, whether I'm on my tablet, whether I'm on my phone, no matter where I'm at, I could pull up in a matter of like 2 clicks and tell you the address of a property I closed 5 years ago. Like, it's just phenomenal how easy it is to keep track of everything. And it blows my mind the amount of agents that don't keep track of anything. And so that is one of the automations that I think is a key automation. Another one, which I also keep in my Google Drive, is my buyer and seller presentations. Now, mind you, I don't go on these appointments anymore, but if I do, I still have them and I share them and I teach them. And I have a thing called the buyer process that when I did meet with buyers, we sat down over coffee and I always bought them a coffee. I like to get very personal with people because I feel like it makes them want to commit to me, and it brings more business later. And it's just it's a great thing to meet a buyer at a coffee shop and buy them a coffee. It's that law of
Reciprocity.
Thank you, Jen. Yes, I still can't say it. But, you sit down and you bring your folder, which I just print from my seller folder or my buyer folder. I worked really hard to put those presentations together, saved them to a Google Drive. And now anytime I need to go on a buyer or seller appointment, I can grab a folder, throw this together, and I show up looking like the professional who's going to educate these buyers and sellers on best practices and make them want to work with me. So super important to get those saved and just save them in a Google folder. You don't have to go find them every time. You just use your Google Drive to organize all this stuff. Like I said, closing spreadsheet, budget spreadsheet. I love my board spreadsheet. The board spreadsheet is a spreadsheet where we know how many listings we have, how many buyers we have, who's coming, and how many we've closed for the years, all of it. And then I just move all of those closed deals from the board over to a closed spreadsheet and save that in my closings for all these years. I think my closings go back to like 2012. And so these are just some of the automations. But you guys, this last week, so I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Last week, I had a really bad day on Thursday, and I've already told, so many of you already know this probably because we were on a different call this week, but I found out we had a cancellation for one that I was really wanting to close because it was a really good one. Canceled, just completely gone, boom. And which happens in our field, and we know that, and that's okay. I'm fine. But I just was really like, that would have been a nice, over the holidays and everything, to just have that reassurance. But oh well. Then later that afternoon, I got a call from my aunt, and my aunt got cancer earlier this year. And I flew out to California twice already this year to just get some valuable quality time with her because she has lung cancer. And in lung cancer in Bakersfield, California, that's like a death sentence. And it's not a matter of when. I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's more of a matter of when. That's my hometown, by the way, Bakersfield, California. And it's like in this valley. So the air is like really, really bad. And so, it's like I go spend this quality time with her, but I'm still just waiting, later in the year for the ball to drop and to get that call. And in my mind, on Thursday, I got that call because she said that she had gone to the doctor and they said that it was in the other lung and it was worse. And she was already at stage 4 before she started chemotherapy. Well, of course, I say aunt, you guys, but this is like my mom, like my best friend, like my sister. She raised me. She's just superwoman. And so it broke my heart, and I couldn't even talk. And I got off the phone, and I was supposed to do a class the next day, and I couldn't do anything. I froze. I literally just lost it. I was like, I just don't even know. I couldn't function. It just kind of, and that happens when we get bad news, right? But I didn't really know for sure all the details and everything. And so I was like ready to go get in my car and just drive to California until further notice. Like, I'm just going to go spend this time with her. But I've already done that twice this year. Like, I literally went out there for several weeks and worked from there. And the beauty about what I do, like, I can work from anywhere. But, Friday I woke up and I'm like, okay, I got to really figure this out. I have to process first. So my brain, when I go to that place, like, I know I'm there for the day. Give me a glass of wine. I'm done. Dawn down. And so that's how I was on Thursday. But by Friday, I was processing. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is unrealistic. I'm doing all of these things right now. I can't just up and leave. I have a book signing event in Dallas next week. I have to babysit my grandson the following weekend. I'm leading these agents and onboarding, and like, I've got all these things going on, and this is real life happening. I cannot just drop everything and go. But I can, but it's a matter of when am I going to. So then I processed all that. And then Saturday I woke up and I'm like, I got to get some business. Like, I got to get my team some business. So I started thinking about that. And then I started remembering, wait, I have all these automations going on. Let me just open up my abundance plan and go through it and figure out where I am with all of this stuff and what's the most important things that I'm going to be able to do. And then I messaged Angela and I'm like, okay, these are the 5 things that I'm working on. And here's the order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Podcast, lead gen for getting Chime set up, getting my new videos into Chime, because I had KV Core all automated where I had videos and all the campaigns done. I haven't done that yet in Chime. Lead generation in Chime, all of that. And then agent attraction, because we all know I'm trying to build a team here at Epic. And then podcast. Oh, and then my course. And so I had it in the order I thought she was going to do it. And she sent it back and it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Like, is she for real? And so I started thinking about it with a different mindset. And I was like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. Like, I already have all this stuff done. I have my plan. I just got to go to my plan. So the number one automation that you guys should be, in my opinion, only waking up and looking at every single day is that abundance plan that you have. Use your time to put the things on it that are the most important blocks, the big blocks, your foundation pieces, the pieces we talked about last week, your plan, your funnels. What are your lead generation funnels? Get them on that abundance plan, which I'm going to share with you here in a second. And then you don't have to rethink this every day. You just open up your plan, you go through and you do the work. It's literally like a job description for yourself. As real estate agents, we're independent contractors. We're in charge of our own schedule. Awesome, right? But then at the same time, not so awesome, because half of the real estate agents don't do any work. Like, we have a free schedule. So it plays in our favor, but it also plays against us. So we have to take the time to sit and write out the business plan that is going to work for you. What do you know that you're going to get in and do? And so when you open that up and then you take the things that are on the business plan and you put them into your calendar. And then if you still don't do them, then it's time to reevaluate your days. Angela has, I don't know if you have one or not, but I have one somewhere, and it's a time journal. So sit there and take a journal of your time. You don't even need anything, but just get a calendar and write down what you're doing every hour, every day, and then match that up with your business plan and figure out where you're at. But it should be automated. Like, everything we do as real estate agents should be automated. Those automations and setting them up right are what's going to lead to your closings. And right now, none of us can afford to be an agent that's not going to be working. We can't just sit around and wait for the phone to ring. So many real estate agents I see have one funnel. It's the friends and family funnel. But guess what? Those friends and family like are rarely buying or selling in this market because the interest rate is too high. And there's, everything that's going on in the economy. There's all these different things. But I guarantee you, there's still a lot of homes out there that are closing. Pull up your MLS and do a report every single Monday and just look at how many properties closed. And in your market, you could run all kinds of reports. I do one that how many are active in the past 7 days, how many have closed in the last 7 days or 30 days. And then whatever you want to put on there and just do it. But you'll see a pattern of what's going on in your own market. And then you'll stop having that lack mindset about what's not going on. And instead you'll start thinking about what can you do to be the agent that is in front of all of these people that are buying. And are you doing that right now? Like, we have to seriously be that fly on the wall watching what you're doing. Nobody else could do this for you. And so you've got to automate it. So every day, open up your business plan, time block, and figure out what it is you're not doing. So that is really all I have to say on automation. Any questions or thoughts? I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now, though, because that's really...